Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ngani Titan. I finally managed to elite the A43. Didn't particularly care for it during most of my playtime. I didn't really get it. I think it's only this game that I began to realise how this tank really ought to be played, and it's a kind of a different playstyle than I'm used to, and it's certainly not a playstyle that's natural to me. But we'll get back to that in a minute. This is actually an ace tanker game, but I don't have the end of the game, and I don't have the team results. The reason is that I tend to, my capture setup is set up to record to an ancient Dell Latitude laptop that's probably over 10 years old. It's just about capable of the job, but if I don't reboot it now and again, and more to the point, if I don't switch off the recording software and reboot the machine every now and again, sometimes the disk file handling gets a bit wonky and I get corrupted files when I'm recording the videos, and I lost 2 days of video. I lost Friday and Saturday. This is one of the few videos that I salvaged. Managed to get a clip out of another video which was actually a really good T95 E2 game on Command, but most of that was gone, and all the rest of the games. I had a couple of other good games in the Motherland and various other things, and they're all just trash. Ironically enough, this is actually a good game on Halluff. I have a terrible time on Halluff with medium tanks. Generally, I do very, very poorly. This is kind of this place you go to with medium tanks, but you need to be fast on the trigger, fast on the reflexes, and patient. And I tend to be none of these things. I don't have the patience. I tend to expose myself too long to get the shot off, and I tend to do something stupid, then try and make up for my deficiencies, and I die very early on without having achieved much. So I'm basically here waiting for these guys to cross the open ground, but they don't show any sign of doing so, and I suspect there actually isn't many tanks up here. We have a couple of tanks crossing into the middle of the valley. So I've come around here and I'm sort of waiting for Sixth Sense to go off, because usually down there around the village or on the escarpments just right in front of me, there's usually tank destroyers hanging out there, and they kill me when I tried stuff like this. But Sixth Sense didn't go off until the Panzer 4H came around. And at that point I was committed. The only way to escape was to go forward. This thing doesn't have a good reverse, but it's very fast on the forward, and this game was an eye-opener as to how to play this tank. The armour is trash. By and large, the armour won't save you in this tank unless the tank is moving, and moving fast, and jiggling and jinking, because if you sit still with this tank at all, then the enemy has the opportunity to pick his shots, and there's lots of flat surfaces in the armour, and rounds will go through it without any difficulty. So you need to keep the tank moving. You need to keep altering the angle at which you're facing the enemy so that he's not quite sure where to shoot you and when to shoot you. And that way you will bounce shots. You mightn't bounce many shots, but you will bounce shots, and you can circle tanks faster than the auto aim can cope with. So, KV1 here, I'm actually quite fortunate in that he's not paying any attention at all until I've actually quite a lot of damage done to him. Now, I need to avoid being shot at by the KV1, and he gets confused, I think, as to who he wants to shoot. So, I managed to get the rounds into him there. And that Bulldog is a one-shot kill, and we managed to get the one shot off. He actually managed to clear the enemies in front of him. So, we've managed to win this corner. So as I was saying, this video is incomplete because the laptop just loses it sometimes if everything is running for too long. And I hadn't been running it, I hadn't rebooted it in quite a while, and therefore, like I said, I lost quite a lot of video. So we're coming towards the final run of the game. There are 4 tanks remaining. So this tank, it's all about the speed. If you can keep this tank out of trouble at the start of the game, avoid taking too much damage so that you have most of your health pool, or all your health pool, towards the end game, when you can find isolated tanks, or you can assist mobs of your own team, and essentially engaged in drive-by shootings towards the end of the game, and you can pick up quite a lot of damage doing that. You've just got to be careful about who you're picking on, and it's probably best in this top tier. The armor is, like I said, pretty much non-existent, and when this tank is bottom tier, the hit point pool is relatively low as well, so it can be absolutely wiped one shot by tier 8s. Some of the tier 8 tank destroyers will just blow it out of the water and there's nothing left. The Churchill there was able, his turret was quick enough that he was able to follow me around, so he was actually able to do damage to me, and because the Panzer 5-4 on the hill, I can play head games with the Churchill and bluff and come around from a side that I think when he's looking the other way. So I'm going to go the longer way around, and the tank is fast enough to make this a viable tactic. So by the time I get back up, he has no idea where I am, he's not expecting me, he thinks that I'm probably gone completely, and I appear as a complete surprise, and he's busy with somebody else at the moment. So we pop around, he's not looking at us, he's made another shot, and he's a one-shot kill now because he was engaged with another tank as well. So that's the kind of thing that this tank does really well. I have deleted it since, I hadn't deleted it at the time of this game was played, but I did delete it since. And I have moved on to the A44. I'll be doing a video about that later on during the week. I mean, I think there are probably people out there who can do really, really well with this tank, but it's really not my style of a tank. I might come back to it in the future, I don't know. But I have sold it for the moment. Didn't quite know where that guy had gone. Thought he might have gone down into the water this side, but I should be out of proximity to take them here along the top of the cliff. And he may have run for our cap circle. So we come up here, and sure enough, there he is crossing the river. We missed with the first shot. Bounced that one, or else we actually missed completely, and then we start putting rounds into him. Now he knows we're here. So I'm going to get away from there. There's no point in staying in front of him. One hit will finish me off. I don't want to pick a direction until the Sixth Sense is no longer on. So Sixth Sense is no longer on. So now I'm going to drive around and come down the other side. If he's still alive when I get there, there's the chance that I might get the killing shot in and get my top gun. So we come around here, we're down at the bottom. He's low enough, and then the video starts going wonky, and that's it. That's the end of the video. I do actually manage to get another shot in. I think I might even get 2 shots in, but I don't manage to get the killing shot. So I don't get the top gun. I do get the ace tanker. It was an ace tanker game. I haven't had one since. I had a couple of first class masteries, but if you look at my stats in this tank, you'll see that I've gotten an ace on it. I didn't get a mark of excellence this tank either. Probably have to play another 20 to 20 games maybe to get that. But I've moved on, and I'm now going to be looking at the A44, the tier 7. So I hope you found this video entertaining. If you do, please consider giving it a like and giving the channel a subscription if you haven't already done so. And thank you for watching once more, and I will catch you all again soon. Bye.